Let me adjust my volume. Hope everybody can hear me. How are you all doing? I hope everybody's doing amazing. Thank you all so much for joining me for today's topic and discussion. I want to see if everybody can hear me. Please let me know. I see we have Sugar Love and we have Miss 702. I hope you guys are doing amazing. If everybody coming in can hit the like, I'd really appreciate it. I'm also going to get my tablet so I can put the link in here. Hi, Colton. How are you doing? I'm also going to get my tablet so I could put the link in for anybody else coming in. Hold on. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put the link in there for, I sent my link to my co host. I'm not sure if she's going to make it in, but I definitely wanted to do this. For one, I wanted to do this topic because you really don't know what your community thinks of you. Um, and I always say that don't wait until somebody passes away. Don't wait until it's too late to give people their flowers. And that's what I want to do today. Whether it's a simple thing or it's an experience or is it your story, whatever it is that you have been through in your life and I helped you through it, I would like to know in the comment section. I would like to know. I'm waiting for my co-host. I sent links to two different people, and hopefully that they'll pop in and give me my flowers. I want to hear what you know you all have to say in the community. I'm going to be here, and I'll just hear what you all have to say. Um, I am going to send out another message because I'm not sure if they got it. Okay. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I hope they did. I think they did. But I am waiting. Nope. I can't send the link once I'm live. So I'm just going to be here. Hopefully my co-host will pop in. And if not, I'll just have to reschedule for another day. I sent links to two different people. Hopefully, they'll come in. Well, while I'm waiting, I'm going to share a little bit of my story. Um, for anybody who doesn't know me, I'm Marlene of Marlene Motivates, and I made this channel back in 2007, I believe. And at that time, I was living your best life. And I made this channel because I wasn't living my best life. Actually, I was in a space in my life where I was very miserable. Um, During this time, I had a lot of issues. I had a lot of issues with so many things, traumas from my past, a lot of things that I had hidden deep inside of me, and it was very hard for me to be honest with myself, to be honest with others, to set boundaries, to know my limits, to tell people no. There's a lot of things that I needed to learn at that time, which I didn't know how to do those things. I didn't know how to be my best. I didn't know how to speak up for myself. And I definitely didn't know how to live to my highest potential because I don't know who grew up like me. If you grew up during a time where you were seen and not heard, I came from a really big family. And having a lot of people around you doesn't mean you feel supported, you feel a part of a team, and you feel loved. And even though I had a lot of people around me, I still didn't feel like I had people around me that supported me and were there for me. I didn't feel like I had people that were compassionate and understanding to me and supportive of me and what I wanted and what I needed in my life. And at that time, I definitely needed to learn about self control. I needed to learn about boundaries. I needed to learn to respect myself. I needed to learn that it was okay for me to just be me unapologetically. And during that time, I was always looking and searching for my love inside of other people. I was looking for my love inside of my siblings, my parents, friends, money. I wasn't finding love inside of myself because a lot of us, a lot of people grew up like I did, searching for love inside of things, inside of the vain things that is outside of us, how we look, our education, where we work, um, if we're in a relationship, if you have children, and looking for those to be the things to value you when you're valuable all on your own. But fast forward until about 2000 and 2010. This is when my dad got sick from cancer. I didn't find out, but the bottom fell out, and eventually we found out that my dad had stage 3 prostate cancer. And at that time, I was in a relationship, and the relationship progressed, and I moved away. And after that, I had to leave and come back because my dad was at the end of his life. Hey, Sugar Love, how are you doing? Welcome. Hey, Key Kitchen. And at the time, my dad was at the end of his life, and it's really hard to, unless you've been through something like that, you really can't understand what that means. You can't understand what another person is going through. You can't understand end of life until you deal with end of life. And even though I have seen it, I've worked in that industry, the healthcare industry, and I've taken care of people. Hi, Olivers. How are you doing? Welcome. Even though I've taken care of people in end of life, but it's a completely different scenario when it's you. Now it's applying to you, that now it becomes not only somebody close to you, but your own parent. And I did not handle it well because I am a daddy's girl. I'm always going to be a daddy's girl. And to see my dad go from the person who was so strong and taking care of everybody, to see him get into oh, it's Philippine time. Oh, it's good morning to you. Okay, good morning to you, Olivers. um to get to the point in my life to where I'm seeing my dad now needs someone to take care of him. And that's a very vulnerable position. That's a very vulnerable place to be in. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm the baby. So it was hard seeing your father, the one that you always depended on to take care of you and protect you, to now be the one that needs help. And I kind of got a little bit upset because I wasn't seeing other people, my other siblings, step up to the plate like I wanted them to. So, nobody's going to show love or treat a person like you do. So, of course, I had to move away and come back home to take care of my dad. And I'm so grateful that I did, because um, you never get another opportunity to say goodbye. And I'm glad that I got about a year and a half with my dad before he passed away. And this was the time where you know, I healed a lot of wounds in my heart. I don't know who this message is going to reach, and who resonates with it. But when you go through your whole life with your parents, there's a lot of unresolved issues, there's traumas, there's lots of things on both ends, probably with them and with yourself. So I took this as the opportunity to start talking about some of the things that when he wasn't there and I needed him, or he didn't show up and give love like I needed to receive love. So during that time, we had those deep conversations about, why he didn't know how to show up for me like I needed love. Okay. Hey, James Money, how are you doing? Welcome. And we had that conversation of why he couldn't show up and give me love like I needed to receive love. And I found out during that time, which I didn't know, my dad didn't grew up having his own father. But my dad was a really good father. He was a great dad. Especially not having one, not knowing what a good example of fatherhood was. He did the best that he could to be a good dad to all 10. That's right, I said 10. He did a bang up job of being a father of 10 children, and him never having his own father in his life. So when after the time where I lost my dad, it really messed me up. It messed me up in more ways than one. I know a lot of times people will say, "Oh, it's a part of life when people pass away. It's a part of life." Yes, it is a part of life, but I only had to find myself as being daddy's girl. I had only defined myself as being his child, as being a daughter, and that was my whole world. My dad was my whole world. Don't get me wrong, I love my mom, but when you have a close bond with somebody, there's nothing like that bond that you have with somebody that you're really close to. So it took me a really long time for me to lift my head up again. And I found during that time, I was not living my best life anymore. I was just existing, you know, and who knows. Like you're just going through your life and you're doing all the things that you need to do to stay alive. You're going to work, you're cooking, you're cleaning, but you're not enjoying any life. You're just doing the minimum to get by. And that's what I was doing at that time. I was just doing the minimum to get by, but I had no happiness. I had no joy. And that was the reason why before now my channel was called Living Your Best Life, because I had to learn how to live my best life. Hi, Spice is nice. How are you? Welcome. I had to learn how to live my best life. I had to know that life goes on without them. So this was 2016 when my dad passed, October of 2016. So I was just getting, acclimated to life without my dad. And 7 months later, I was at work, just going through my normal day. And I remember the day going by and my mom was going to a doctor's appointment. And I remember, like, I don't know who knows this, but if you have anybody in your life and they have white coat syndrome, hi Lynn, how are you? Welcome. I had my mom had really bad white coat syndrome. And what white coat syndrome is, anytime they go to the doctor, they get themselves all excited that they get a raised blood pressure. But when they're at home, they're fine. I guess it's the excitement of going to the doctor. And my mom had a really bad white coat syndrome. And I remember the last words that I had that I said to my mother was, "Mom, please just stop worrying. Everything's going to be fine. You're going to the doctor. They're going to give you a checkup, and I'll see you later." And I hate that that was the last things that I said to my mother. But fast forward to about noon that day, my brother texts and say, "We better get to the hospital." And I was like, "Get to the hospital? Like, what's going on?" But I didn't know. He didn't tell us everything that was going on. I found out later that my mom had already coded. She had already coded blue. Like her heart had stopped beating. She had passed out, and they had to resuscitate her one time with the what is it called, the charging things, where they jump the body. He didn't tell us all that. So I'm at work and I'm just thinking, okay, I'll get to the hospital because he said get to the hospital. I just thought she was probably had an elevated blood pressure and she was in the hospital with her white coat syndrome, but I didn't know um, the enormity. I didn't know how big it was, what she was going through. Um, if it was that, I would have just dropped everything at work and left. But he didn't communicate that. But that also, I have to take ownership of me just taking my time and just thinking, oh, she doesn't need me. It's just another. My mom's being dramatic as usual. But anyways, fast forward a little bit. It's the end of the work day. I get to the hospital and I find out my mom is in the ICU. And I was like, the ICU? And when I go finally get back there, and you can only have one person go back there at a time, I saw that she was unconscious. And I was like, what's going on? And they're like, her heart stopped. She's coded twice. And that during that time, everybody, I didn't know, everybody in my family had started coming coming in, waiting in the waiting room. And during that time, as soon as I got there, I remember all of the everybody, all the bells and whistles started going off in the room where my mom was. And then, you see it, they're jumping her body, and they're like clear and everything. Her body's jumping and all of this. And it's like I was having an out of body experience because, mind you, I had just lost my dad. Well, not just me, my whole family, we had lost our dad. Let me not be selfish. We had all lost our dad already 6 months ago, and now it's only seven 7 months, give or take a few days, and my mom is coding, and I was like, no, 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 this can't be happening. So then the code team comes and talks to myself, my brother, my niece, and my other sister, and says we're going to have to let her go. Whew. All I remember is dropping to the ground. I don't know if I passed out. I really don't know what happened. And then I remember coming out. Hey, Miss 702, how are you doing? Welcome. I remember coming out and telling my family she's gone. And yeah, and that was the end. And I feel like that was like I feel like my life was like an out of body experience after that time. Oh, it was a horrible time. It was a horrible, horrible time. And I just need a second, guys. It was a horrible, horrible time in my life where I thought my life was just starting to go good. I just got like my dream job. I had finished school. Everything was going well. I was starting to have a good relationship with my mom. And now she's gone too. But that's just how life goes. Life never goes as planned. It never goes the way we want it to go. And right after that, too, after I lost my mom, 1 month after that, I lost my aunt, my dad's sister. She was 102. So, like, I went through this cycle of just losing so many people. I lost my dad, lost my mom, then I lost my aunt, then a long story that I don't want to talk about right now because I'm still in litigation for that. But so another big issue happened in my family, and then after that, my brother passed away because now we're in the COVID period of time, the C-19, And that was a horrible experience. I don't know who has lost anybody during the C-19 period of time, but it's awful. Thank you, Lynn. I'm not on here saying this for, you know, anything. I just know that me sharing my story is important because just to show other people that they're not the only one that has struggled. And during that time, I lost my job, had a really bad breakup of a relationship. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you know how like when everything starts spiraling out of control, and lost my brother. And when my brother passed away, that was extremely traumatic because I heard everything on the telephone because the person my brother was in a relationship had it all on phone, speakerphone, because of course, nobody could be there in person. So I heard the whole thing, just like I heard with my mom. I heard all of the same thing again. I heard code, and then just like that, my brother's gone too. And I was just like, how much pain can one person take? I'm so sorry to hear that, Miss Lynn. And I share my story because I think that it's important to share your story with others because you just never know what other people are going through. You never know. You never know what somebody's going through. That's why I say, like, people can look at me now and they can see my strength. They look at me now and they see my smile, but they have no idea all of the times I didn't want to be here anymore. All the times my mental health was in distress. All the times I felt like giving up, you know, and getting to the point of being around toxic people, wanting to unalive yourself, losing your job, getting out of a relationship. I feel like it was like everything was happening all at once. I think during that period of time of those 2 to 3 years, I think I cried all day long. Like literally, I'm not, no exaggeration. I cried all day long. No matter what I was doing, whether I'm in the shower, I'm eating, the tears never stopped for about 3 years. Yeah. Yeah. And that's where I came to this point where I made this channel. I made this channel because I know that it's important to let other people know that no matter what you have been through, no matter what your difficulties have been, no matter what your challenges are, that you're not alone. You're not alone in anything. You're not alone in your storm. And I'm grateful because during this time, we kind of expect certain people to be there for us, right? I expected my romantic relationship. I expected the person I was in a relationship to give me the support, and they didn't. I expected my siblings to give me support, and they didn't. I friends, but I had to understand that that love had to come from inside of me. We can't expect other people to give us, and we can't expect other people to fill up our voids because other people, they just can't understand. And also other people are going through their own trials, you know? Yeah. Other people are going through their own trials. They're going through their own pain and their own strain. And I just didn't understand. I just didn't get it. Yes, Miss Lynn, it's so important to share. Yes, I understand I had to get therapy to get myself together, still working on me, as you should, Miss Lynn, and everybody who's in the chat and anybody who watches on the replay. I shared my story because I need everybody to understand that just because a person can look good, like I could look good and I could be smiling right now. I have not always smiled. It took a lot for me to get to the place where I can smile. I can love myself. I can heal. I can forgive myself. I can forgive the past, and I can stand in my present, stronger and better. Hi, puzzle pieces. How are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for my trials. I'm grateful for my sadness because it's caused me to be the woman that I am today. It showed me how to be strong. It showed me how to stand on my own 2 feet. It showed me who to really rely on. That I know that a lot of times we rely on other people. You rely on your relationship, you rely on your friends, you rely on your quote unquote family. Mm-mm. When I had it all wrong, I had it all backwards. I needed to learn to rely on God. Um, and that's the time where I got this strong with my faith. Now I'm not here to push anything religious or spiritual on anybody because everybody has different belief system, but I'm just sharing what worked for me. During all that time before, I was always relying on my own strength, relying on my own power, relying on people that I should not have, and I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have relied on them. And let's welcome Miss Nexie to the chat.
Whew. Hello, Miss Marlene. Hello,
Hi.
chat. How's everyone doing today? How are you doing, Miss Marlene?
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, I see you. I see you, but you cannot see me.
That's okay. That's okay. I don't need to see you. I just need to hear you.
Good job. Good job. So, we've been talking about the people that are there for us when we need them the most. Don't we get
Mm,
surprised every time, Miss Marlene?
yeah.
Because those who we have been for, therefore, through
Hmm.
thick and thin, every time we answer that call, those that we have been present for every time they need us are the ones that fail us, are the ones that don't show up for us, are the ones that teach us those lessons of loyalty. It's just a word. It's just a
Yeah.
word if you don't practice it. And they teach us to appreciate other people around us that sometimes we put aside because we want to be there for this particular group of people because they're blood, because we've been friends for a very long time. But when things like this happen, you realize that you have been their friend. You have been their
Yeah.
family member, but they haven't
Yep.
been your best friend or they haven't been your family member. And it's a
Yep.
good thing because then you start focusing on those that you have put aside because they're not family or they're not your childhood friend.
Mhm.
And you get better
Yep.
friendships out of that.
Yeah.
So,
You. Yeah. Actually, Miss Nexie, I'm glad you brought that up because it was during that time that I found out where my loyalty lied. Like I was being loyal to people, but they're not being loyal to me, and I had to ask myself, why are you doing that? Stop that.
Miss
I had to stop.
702, hello. She said hi to me. And I still
Yeah.
don't know how to type or how to answer on this chat, Marlene.
No, I don't know how to. I don't know how to answer on YouTube at all. So
Okay, so now what was this live about? What have
this
you
life,
learned from who?
yeah, from me.
Aren't you the center of attention always? Okay. And I mean, as perfect as I am, I'm gonna let you have this moment. I have
Oh,
learned I have learned to be more courageous. I have learned um, to allow my voice to be heard. I'm a very private person, very private all the time. Even in conflict, I don't like conflict. I avoid it as much as I can. I really don't like the back and forth. I don't like arguing. Um, but listening to you, you allowing me a space in your platform, which I'm greatly and deeply, deeply grateful for that, because you didn't even know me, but you allow me to come up and, you know, be heard. I have learned um, that once you put your mind into something, you get it done no matter what. So I have always been someone that procrastinates.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yes.
but I'm
Yes.
learning. I'm
Yes.
learning. Okay, that even though you were like that, and that's the thing that the one thing is that a lot of times we don't hear when people are preaching to us certain things. They don't. And I've heard other platforms, other people say these things, but the one thing they don't say, or they don't give the element of, I was there. I was like that. They tell you what to do, how not to be, but they never make it personal. With you, I have learned that, hey, this is who I was back
Mhm.
then. This is who I am now. I'm trying.
Mhm.
I'm still trying to. So that gives people, it propels people to say, hey, you know what? She's doing it. Why not? I have learned as of recently, I took out walking again with those little power talks that you do in the morning. I haven't been doing that because winter is really bad on my arthritis. I've suffered with this for 30 plus years. And so I'm learning, summertime is here. You're doing because we're 3 hours apart from each other. You are ahead, I'm behind.
Mhm.
I learned, I get them at the right time for me to do the walk. So today is day 5 that I have
Okay.
gotten up in the morning and walked. So, things like that you probably don't even know that you're making a difference on people, but you are, putting yourself out there all in the open, allowing us to see a vulnerable side of another woman, another person like us, that has had all this going on, that has the ability to say, you know what? Yes, I was there. Yes, it was hard, but I picked myself up and I kept on going. And here I am. Hear me roar. That gives me a lot of positivity on my part. And I'm learning so many things from you. I don't
Mhm.
normally voice things like this to anyone, but I am learning a lot from you. And again, just keep it up, keep on going. You are probably doing a lot more than I can say here right now because it's just me, right? But you're probably motivating a whole bunch of other people that probably don't want to come and say anything, but just keep on going because you make a difference. You've done it
Yeah.
on me.
And the reason why I wanted to do this because I'm gonna be honest with you all. I have my moments just like you all where I feel like, what am I even doing with this platform? Like you motivating people, like I'm just a regular human being. Like I'm not perfect or anything. Um, so it's like, like nobody's even watching this. Nobody even cares. You know how like those seeds of doubt get into your head, and it's like I don't even think I want to do videos or live streams anymore because it's nobody's watching it anyways. So when those seeds of doubt get into my head, I'm going to come back and reflect on this video when I see that people are saying I do impact them, I do matter, I am, even though I know that I'm valued. It's nice to hear it because sometimes when I'm doing my research for my videos or titles or whatever, I'm like, you guys have no idea. Like I have a file and I write out titles for like 3 to 4 months ahead. Okay, I'm going to talk about this, and this. And okay, I talked about that 6 months ago. It's time to talk about that again. I go very in depth with my stuff, and then I research my titles. I look at thumbnails. Then I batch film my content. It's a lot of work that goes into it. So it's nice to know that others actually are watching, and it's appreciated because sometimes, you know, I'm just going to be honest. A lot of people won't be, but I'll be honest. Sometimes when you're not getting those big numbers, you're not seeing 1,000, 2,000
Mm-hmm.
views on a video. I'm not getting a 10K, 500K, whatever. When you're not seeing the growth, you feel like that equates to your it's valueless. What you're doing is valueless. And I had to learn that you can't put a number on the impact you are having on people's hearts and their heads.
And second is, um, I get that you go through that frustration, and we have, in private, you and I have. I hope it's okay for me to say this.
Oh yeah.
Um, okay, in private, you and I have discussed that, how discouraging it is sometimes, how sometimes you just don't even know if you want to continue to do this. But the one thing you need to remember, and I hope that you do every day, is that you're doing this for you. You're doing this because it's what you're supposed to be doing. So, regardless of the number, regardless of who compliments, who comes, who doesn't, who likes, who doesn't, who follows, who doesn't, you're doing this for you. This is your legacy. It may not be something that people will do watch now, I'm gonna put it in a context that I understand, which is what I follow in certain things. Is, classic movies, those black and whites. I mean, how many years has it been since people haven't remembered them? Guess what? As of late, a lot of people are bringing that back. They want the classics. They love the characters. They love the acting because it was real actors at that point. It wasn't all. So those things happen. Even though it's not popular now or it's not picking up now, there will be a time where it's going to just spiral out of control because it's what it's needed. So this is all I can say. Hi, Sugar. Uh-oh. I was just, you know what? Miss Marlene, are you muted? Uh-oh.
I was
Uh-oh.
I was muted.
Did the camera fall? Did you mess with the camera again?
Yep. Did.
Go on. We didn't hear a thing. So go ahead.
I was I was trying to look at these comments, and that's what happened. So I'm not touching the screen anymore.
I told you. I don't mess with it.
So I was trying to look at the comments, and I saw that what Miss 702 says, yes for you. And I had to learn that I don't know how to put it into words, but when you start to work on yourself, you automatically impact other people. And I
Hmm.
know that the moment that I start to pour into myself, learning self-love, learning about compassion, learning about understanding, learning to put my foot down and saying no, learning to say no and mean it, learning to block people. That was Blocking people has been very good for my mental health.
I've been doing that for years, girl.
Yeah. I've been doing it for a few years now, but I mean, until I started to actually do it and follow through.
Oh,
Yeah.
you've been mentally doing it for years.
Yeah.
Now you're putting it in form.
Yeah.
Good,
Now
good.
it's like I'm doing it not out of, how like people will block people just to be petty, just block them for no reason because they want to avoid having conversation. No, I block people when I know that they're going to bring they're bringing negativity, or they're bringing me
Hmm.
down, or they're trying to bring me backwards. Hi Kelly, how are you? Welcome. Um and I think that's the thing that I think that's what propelled me to recently. I think it's been about a year and a half now I've been Marlene Motivates, because when I was, you didn't know me back then, Miss Nexty. Maybe a
Mm-mm.
few of you. No, Sugar Love knew me back when I was living your best life. During that time, I was a completely different person. Very, what can I say? Like, very shy, very not believing in myself. I was still working on that, still working on
Mm-hmm.
me, and I had a problem speaking up for myself. Now I have no problems with telling people how I feel, and I feel good. And I know it's going to sound strange, but my YouTube has caused me to be a better woman. I know that that's going to sound weird to people,
Not at
but
all.
it's the truth. But it's the truth. Um, it's the truth, 100%.
Yeah, and again, it allows you to be the best that you can be because you want to leave something positive. So you're digging deeper into you. So yeah, that's going to make you a better person, a better woman, a better friend, a better mom, a better everything.
Better everything. Yep.
Yeah, and for me, it's not that again, I can speak my mind. I can tell someone if I like or don't like a certain behavior. That's not the problem. But when confrontations, those are the things that I don't do well with. I don't like that yelling, that screaming, that
Mm-hmm.
mouthing of horrible words. I don't do good on that, so I stay away from it. If I know that a person is gonna react that way, which a lot of times they do react very aggressive or very unkindly. If I know that that person is going to be like, it's like that, what I do is I write them a letter and I send them something or a text in this case and tell them exactly how I feel, and then I block and
Mm.
I get away from that person. Living your best life, which was your previous channel, it's actually something that people should practice more. And it's something that needs to be done in order for you to become like you, who you are now. Living your
Yeah.
best life means, if you don't like conflict, stay away from it. If you have toxic family relatives, visit at your own pace. Go at your own pace.
Yeah.
Keep them around as long as they don't mess with your peace. As long as they don't do anything that is gonna get you into a spiral type of um, added a reaction. Try
Yeah.
to do everything that is best for you, because that's what I understood about living your best life, because I watched some of those videos and I commented on you. I said to you before, oh my god, Marlene, what, you were so different, you were so shy, you were like
I
so
was
like
so I was
nervous.
I was so painfully shy. It's like one of those things that I knew the assignment. I knew what I was meant to do. So I was just doing it, but I didn't believe it yet, if that makes sense. Like I was
Hmm.
going through the motions. I was like, okay, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. This is the motivation. This is this. But I didn't feel it. Like I wasn't speaking from my heart. Like now when I talk about things, I speak from my heart. I speak from my experience. I speak
Hmm.
from the things that I've seen in mentorship and counseling other ladies and gentlemen, even kids. And those things stem from me going into certain topics and talking about certain things. So it really has changed my life. And I know that it's going to sound crazy to some people, but I'm grateful now for my pain and my trauma. I'm grateful that my parents are no longer here. Not because I don't want them to be here, but if they didn't leave, I never would have stepped up and done some of the things that I have done now. I would never have.
Hmm.
I would never have.
Exactly, and that is something that, finding the silver lining in tragedy, right? I think that a lot of us confuse that word, and a lot of people, when I've heard in other contexts, because I've heard it elsewhere, they're finding the silver lining out of a tragedy to make money out of it. A lot of people say, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, so and so this happened, but now we're writing books about it, now we're gonna have this about it. So they do it to profit from it.
Mhm.
And you the way you're doing it is different because yes, you're benefiting, but you're benefiting because you're actually how can I put it, being making yourself a better person, a healed person.
Mm. Thank you. And I got to say, shout out to Team Ranger. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I'm on YouTube, so I can't play my Panda song, but I promise when I do my live stream tomorrow, when I'm on StreamYard, I'm going to do all the pandas. The panda will be for all of, all of the super
All
chats
the
and all the
pandas in the
super
world.
stickers. But I thank you. Team Ranger says, I've learned so much from you patience and self worth. Thank you, Marlene. Aw, I appreciate you, Mike. And those are the things that means a lot to me. Now, I've shared this with Miss Nexie, and I think I probably shared this with my audience before, but never on the vertical streaming to share this. I came from a time where I said I tried to unalive myself on multiple occasions. And the last time that I did, I remember being so upset. I did not want to be back here. I looked around, I was like, no, because I was like, where am I? And then when I looked and saw I was like, I'm still here. No, this is not what I wanted. No, no, no. I was so angry. But I understand now that I came back so that I could be able to meet certain individuals. I came back so I could be supportive, so that I could actually grow up too. Because let me be honest, about 5 years ago, I was definitely very immature. I have no problem being transparent about that. I was very immature. It was all about me. I was very selfish. I was very mean. Yeah, it's all of those things. I'm just being real and honest. That's just who I was. And, nobody can't call me out and say I was selfish because I was like, okay, yeah, I know that. I know that. Oh, thank you, puzzle pieces. I appreciate it. Um, and I didn't understand really um what why I was here. When I came back, I was like, because I thought I was still supposed to be doing what I had always done. Like the frivolous, worthless job, the whatever, just like not really. I feel like what I was doing, while it was a job and it was valuable to other people, helping people, but it wasn't like this. And
Hmm.
I said, like, about 6 months after I came back, that's when I first started writing again, and my book will be coming out soon. So I'm working with the publishers on that. So I came back for certain reasons. I came back to share my story. I came back to tell people about resilience, because resilience is inside of every single one of us. You guys, just sometimes you just never know what a person is going through. I know I've said that many, many times, but you don't. I don't know what you are going through. I don't know what you deal with on your day to day, within your families, within your life, within your mental health. I have no idea. All I do is I press live or I make a video and I just share something that I'm either going through, has gone through, or somebody I know is going through, that I feel like is going to impact you all in a positive way. And I'm grateful that I'm using my platform. Don't get me wrong. I know you were talking about how people do things to get money. And yes, I do this platform. I
Oh,
am trying
oh,
to
no,
get
no, no,
money
not
from the
like that.
channel.
No, 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 not
Okay.
like that, Miss Marlene. What I meant was I mean, you guys deserve to be paid for this because it's your story. You're changing lives. You're doing so much for others. Like you said, you don't know what people are going through when they come to you when you're speaking this truth. No, I mean when people try to monetize at the expense of others.
Mhm.
Let's say an unaliving has occurred and you haven't been there for this person, but all of the sudden you are monetizing because either you're related to that person or you know what I mean, like that. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Because you guys do work that a lot of us pay. thousands of dollars to be on somebody's couch for. That's what
Yep.
I meant.
Okay.
So for you to put yourself out here and to get monetized and for us to donate to your channel, that's from the heart, because you're doing a lot of us a lot of good, because you don't know what we're going through. Some days I'm so like down. I hear one of your little motivations, 2 minutes, and you know what? Never mind, Nixie, you're okay, right? Because I lost my dads, both of my dads, my dad number one and dad two, within weeks of each other. So I've been struggling, but listening to you, going through you, it makes, you know, so much of a difference in my life. So getting paid for putting yourself out there, no, that's fine. Everybody should be monetized that is doing good. What I meant by that was when people try to monetize at the expense of other, at the,
Okay.
of a crime from others, or because you're related to that crime or you're related to that unfortunate event, and all of the sudden everybody comes out of the woodwork to try to make money out of it. That's what I meant.
Okay.
But you're not. You're doing something amazing. That, again, right now the world is upside down. It's so confusing how the world is. We need more positivity. We need more people speaking to humanity, being humans, good. You know what I mean? So we don't need chaos on YouTube. We don't need fights. We don't need we don't need any of that right now. The world is doing that for itself everywhere else around us. So if you come here with positivity, you come here with wisdom, you come here with your life put out to us, the viewers, because you're opening your life to us. For that, yes, we're very grateful. We're very, very grateful to you.
Thank you so much. You know, when after what was this 2017, 2016 I lost my dad. 2017 I lost my mom, my aunts. 2018, a long story that I can't get into, but 2019, I lost my brother. So it's been a lot, back to back to back, and going through something right now in my personal life that I'll share after the storm is over. And that's why I always say, even though I come on here and I try my best to have a smile on my face, I have issues. I got problems. I have real life stuff that's happening, but I come on here and I share things to let you all know that I'm not just telling you all, keep on going. I have to tell myself that too. There's many days I was like, no, I just want to keep that cover and put it over my head. Or I don't want to get up, or I don't want to have a positive attitude. I want to be angry or bitter. I
Mm-mm.
want to be I don't want to talk to anybody, or I don't want to forgive certain people, or I don't want to do whatever the case may be. But I have to do that not only for my mental health, but also to show others that I'm not just telling you all, be this, do that. No, I'm saying it because I'm living it. I'm experiencing it. So when I learn something like recently, I just learned how important it is, the value of my me time. And even though I had always been doing motivation and inspiration, but I had never taken the time for myself, to my own me time. I mean, no phone, no vlogging, just my time to sit either in nature, go for a walk on the beach, go to the gym, take care of myself, make appointments to see my doctor. I had to start doing some of those things for me so that I could come back and report not just what you should do, how you should get into self care, why you should have self love. No, I can tell you what self love is because I'm experiencing it, because I'm living it, you know, and that's a big difference. It's a big difference. Miss Lynn says, thanks for always allowing God to use you, Marlene. I appreciate you too, Miss Lynn. There's a lot of channels. And if you guys will ever see the people that I have in blue, my moderators, make sure you check out their channels because they have some awesome content and they talk about some great things on their channel. I'm surrounded by a really good community, and I'm grateful to be able to have people on this app that I know that there's a lot of foolishness on this app. I know there's a lot of drama and drama people. But if you're looking for motivational people, if you're looking for people who have a story, if you're looking for people who challenge all of it, then yes, these are your people. And I hope you find a
And
community of people. Go ahead, Miss
and it's
Nexie.
true, Marley. There's a lot of drama all around us. I I'm telling you, I do not subscribe to that. I don't feel that it's something that it's gonna give anything. It's gonna bring anything positive to me, right? To me, I don't know others, but for me, that's not something that I look for, that I thrive on. When people are trashing each other, when they're talking about somebody else's channel and belittling the channel, or trying to dox people, whatever it is that it's called. I don't like those things. So for me, when I see that, even though I may follow them because they I saw them somewhere else, I'm like, oh, let me go check them out. But if I see that it's not something that is going to bring positivity, that is going to at least lift me up a little, it's going to give me a better view of life, I unfollow, because it's not something that, again, we go through. We're lifing, right? We're doing life, and life is hard. It's so hard sometimes. There's so much to do, so much drama, so many problems. um Especially when you have kids, and you have a home, you have to, everything breaking, everything, so you want positivity. You don't want more drama. And that's what I meant. I'm just thinking about everything that needs to be fixed in my house. So the last thing I need is more drama. I need something positive. So I always look for channels that I respect the host. I respect the person. I Because of what they're doing, and I feel better coming to their channels. I don't go to anyone just because you sent me there and I'm gonna just do it. I don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can respect that. I can respect that. And I feel like this channel has evolved from its original purpose. When I first started this channel, it was, I think was doing eyeshadow palette hauls.
I haven't gotten there yet. I'm
Yeah,
still watching certain.
because I've been on this app for since 2007. So I think that's where I started. I think because back in the day, the old YouTube from 2007, you used to be able to see somebody's video and you could do a video reply. That was my
Hmm.
favorite. I wish they would bring that back
Yeah.
to YouTube. That used to be phenomenal. So that's how I started off being a content creator, because I saw somebody like show an eyeshadow palette and then I was like, "Oh, I bought it and I don't like it." I was like, "This is a piece of garbage." I was like, "I don't know what they're talking about." So that's how I started. That's how I started off.
I'm telling you, Miss Marlene, I've been watching it and I'm like, I don't know what she was thinking. No, I'm just kidding. I'm like, I'm over there like, what are you doing, Miss Marlene? What were you thinking? No, but they're good though. They're good. They're they're good start, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the whole thing about it is, in the beginning, I thought I would just, like, as my channel grew, I thought about putting those videos on private, but I said, no, it's important for people to see the growth of this channel. It's for people to see the growth of me and how I have matured and my confidence level. And, me just, even the changes that I make, like, because back in the day, I used to be doing my lives in my bed. And the reason I say that, Miss Nexie, It's because people don't understand that I was giving my lives for my bed because I was so discouraged I couldn't even get up. That's what you all don't know. But I know
Mm,
that. But I know that.
exactly.
But I know that. And God knows that. And other people in my life know that. But I still wanted to give a message of encouragement even though I was still going through it. But now I'm to the point where not only I'm out of bed, I'm standing up, I'm giving, motivational speeches. I have memberships on this channel. I'm writing my book. So I definitely have seen the progression of my own personal growth and who I've turned into be as a woman. And I'm grateful to say, boy, I know my ancestors are proud of me. I know that. It's like, woo, she has grown. She
Finally,
has grown.
finally.
It's like all the prayers, oh, they're working.
Finally, she finally grew. Yay.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I get it. I get it. But again, it's like I guess it's a digital diary that you're doing. You're seeing your progression from reporting live from your bed
yeah,
to now reporting live from my office. Yay,
yeah,
here I am. It's a
yeah,
big leap if you think about it in a very short time, but it's because you have continued to do so, regardless of how you felt or
yeah.
how you didn't feel or what motivation you had or didn't have. And I feel that because you did it, that allowed you to get out of your bed. It motivated you.
Art. Mhm, yeah. And the funny part is I can see the progression. When I go back, I look at my stuff and I laugh. I really laugh because like I'm like I can't even hear. I was like, what was that? I was like, what am I saying? Like, and my volume's all the way up. I'm like, I have no idea what I was talking about. I was like, oh well, I hope somebody got something. But I went from being in the bed to I think I went from the bed to the bathroom because there's another story in that because I was in a situation that was not good. So I was living with people and that was the only way I could have my privacy is being in the bathroom. So that was a progression for me, being going from the bed to the bathroom. And then I went from the bathroom to start vlogging outside. And then now I'm here. Now I'm in an office setting, you know, and I'm grateful.
Exactly. But what a progression. See, it works. Stick with it
Yep.
and it will work. And I think
Yep.
that's key that you have you haven't given up. I'm pretty sure before you would have given up already. But the new you stuck to
Mhm.
it no matter what. And that's the
Yeah.
point. That's the point that we're trying to make here, or that you're trying to make here, is that when you go, regardless of how you feel, as long as you continue on this journey, you will get somewhere. You will get better if this is what you're supposed to be doing, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of
And
people come here and they don't get what the results that they want and they give up right away. It's because it's not what they're supposed to be doing.
right. And I feel that even though that this channel is to give motivation to people, I don't mean for people to take it on and be like how I am. That's not what I mean. I mean, take whatever I'm saying, apply it to your life, and transform into being who you need to be as a woman
Mm-hmm.
or as a man. Apply it. If you need to work on this, or you need to apply that, or you need to get rid of this, or you need to elevate, or you need to block, or stop being a doormat, whatever it is that I say, you take it, make application. That's why I do this. I don't do this for my own health. I do this because it's hard. There are some times that you guys don't know before I do topics. I actually shed tears and I cry because it's hard for me to talk about certain things because it's either something I have been through or I'm currently going through or I just passed through that season. So you guys don't know that. Sometimes I actually said shed tears about certain topics, but I don't tell you all that. But I know that. I know that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that, and I feel that a professional person, that's exactly what they do. They, professionally, you're supposed to stay in your element. You're not supposed to show the world that other side of you. Um, because not everybody deals well with tears on camera.
Yeah, that I
I'm
know.
one of those people. I'm one. I see that. I'm like, okay, I'm gone. I gotta go. I have to leave. Nope, nope, nope. So
Yeah,
it's good that you're learning to keep that in check and come and do your motivation with more passion after going through that off camera. We all
yeah,
have our little um how can I put it, our little routines. We all have a certain way that we do things. And a lot of people, when people say, you know medical doctors or nurses or whatever, they come in and they give you the bad news, like ripping a bandage off. They just tell you what happened without any emotion. But you don't know that before we came to you, we're crying, we're bawling our eyes out in our offices, and getting the
mhm,
courage to come and tell you that your loved one has expired or that your loved one didn't make it. But we cannot do it crying, because that's not going to help anyone. We're
yeah,
supposed to be that rock, that support that you need. So I cannot put my feelings into what you're going to be feeling when I tell you this. So, yes, a lot of times you cry most of the time, because in the medical, and I only compare it to this. I know police officers do the same thing. Sheriffs, every people that have to deal with this type of unaliving situations and things like that, they cry on their own time, but they cannot come to you with tears. They're supposed to come to you professionally, which is why for me, when I see that, I'm like, nope, I'm gone. I'm gonna start crying, then she's gonna be crying, then everybody's gonna be
yeah.
crying. So I get out. I'm like, okay, bye.
And and you guys don't know, some days that's why I do certain videos as a podcast, because you guys don't know I'm here. I'm here crying, wiping my eye the whole time I'm talking. That's why I have my camera off sometimes, but I don't tell you all that. But I know the people who know me, because there's people who know me on this app and they're like, "Why were you crying the whole time? What's going on?" They know, even though I try to maintain my
Or they text
professionalism.
you and they tell, yeah, or they text you and they tell you, why are you crying? Don't do that. Mm-mm, no, stop crying.
But I have to say, Miss Nexie, that I feel that there's certain topics that's a very sensitive, or the trigger stuff,
Yes,
talking about those
that
triggers.
you cannot
Like,
control.
I cannot control it.
I understand.
Yeah, but I don't try to do that all the time, because I don't want everybody to be like, "Oh, all Marley Motivates does is cry."
Instead of Marlene motivates, Marlene cries. The motivational podcast for people to cry.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, because my mentor told me that recently. Like, you don't want to be known as the weepy motivator. I was like, what? But I can't help
Whippy
it. And
sad.
when she told me that, I started crying, and she said, "See that?" But
But
that's what
it's
it
a
is.
work in progress. Work in
Work in
progress.
progress.
That's what I say.
Yeah. And Miss Eunice says, I appreciate your transparency as well as you being a genuine person. Thank you, Miss Eunice. I appreciate that. And welcome back to membership, Eastad. Oh, I want to read this comment from Eunice. She says, life is hard. We don't need extra drama. I want more
Mhm.
peace and serenity in my life. I appreciate you, Marlene, all of your positive messages and advice. That means a lot to me. Yeah. It really, really does. It means a lot, because when we go through things on our day to day life, like when people see people on this app of YouTube, right? they think, number one, some people think, oh, you're rich. I'm not
Mm.
rich. Okay, that's one thing. I'm not rich. People think that you don't have any feelings because people feel, especially on shorts. I don't know what the deal is, but on shorts, these people come out of the woodworks and want to tell you you should never wear that color or don't do that makeup or you're this or this is my favorite one recently. What qualifies you to motivate somebody? I was like, excuse me.
I hope you
But
didn't answer to that.
oh, I did.
You
I did. Yeah. Because I'm a different person now. I said what qualifies me is that I'm still here. That gives me all my credentials. I'm still here. I'm alive. hmm When I could have not been. That qualifies
Yeah,
me.
and guess what? It's a free country, right? You can do whatever you want. I'm sorry, I didn't know where I was at. Where am I
Oh,
at again? That doesn't qualify me for it.
yeah, but the whole thing about it is I'm grateful for this app because it's helped me to become stronger in my real life, to apply to my business, apply to my family, because I don't know who in their families that they are the rock of the family. I think everybody has somebody that everybody depends on. And I'm definitely that person. I'm definitely that person within my family. I didn't ask for it. I didn't want it. I was like, God, take it away from me. Give it to somebody else. But he's like,
Mm-mm.
no, it's
You're the
you.
chosen one.
Yeah. I was like, why am I chosen? But but well, we don't get why we're chosen for certain things. But after you start thinking about it, I then realized that me going through therapy, me sharing my story, what I do for my work, what I share, like my resiliency and my courage. It's not an easy thing to come on this app and to be honest with people and to tell people, yeah, I messed up with this and I used to be immature and I was a procrastinator and I used to do this and it takes courage to do that. But I can say that because I know myself. I don't need anybody to tell me because
Hmm.
if you can't be honest with yourself, who are you going to be honest with? Nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody.
Exactly. And that's again, it's a call. It's something that calls to you to do this, and there's a reason why you're here. Whether people like it or not, that's remember what I used to say, that's a you problem, that's a them problem,
Yeah.
it's not yours. You're
Mhm.
here because this is what you're meant to be doing. This is
Mhm.
something that you were born for. You're really really good at what you do. So people that say things like that, again, we're wasting too much time on them, but we're saying it because others may be going through this the same thing, which is those haters that come to your streams to discourage you, to criticize you. For those people I feel sorry for,
Mhm.
because if you're going to go to a stranger's platform and say such hateful things, I feel sorry for you. You must be really, really miserable.
But you know what, Miss Nexie? I when people like that come to me, I have a different way of dealing with it than before. Now when people like that come and they're angry and miserable, I know. I know what that feels like because I was that angry, mean, jealous person before. I got my
Hmm.
therapy. So I was like, I know exactly what you're going through. And that's exact and I had people in my life that were patient with me, compassionate, and told me I need to get my act together. So now it's my time. Now it's my time to say, hey, yeah, you do need to be over here. Whereas other people would block. No, come on back. Yeah, you need some of this knowledge. You need some of this work. Yeah, come on over. The water's fine on this side.
Oh, Miss Marlene, yes. If you put it that way, then yes, they need to. But at the same time, it's, I'm from the other side of things, which is, my dad always said, if you have nothing nice to say to people, then don't say anything. Just keep your mouth shut. If it's not going to be positive, encouraging, polite, or anything, just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah,
That's
keep
it.
it to yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
when people come to a stranger, because again, you don't know this person, and you come here to criticize them, and and I've seen a lot of people. I follow. I only follow awesome content creators. I've always said this. So I go to other content creators, and I've seen in live sometimes before the mods get it. I've seen people saying, "Oh my God, you look like a clown today with that makeup," and I'm like, "What?" Yeah,
Yeah,
or your face looks like this, or you look like the clown from it. And I'm thinking, how dare you?
so rude.
What gives you the right to be that rude? It's none of your business how this person looks. Listen to the message. You're too focused on things that don't matter.
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, you can be the most beautiful person in the world, but you might have the worst attitude, the worst heart there is. But yeah, so for people like that, I always tell them, never mind that. Just look at everybody else that is following you and that has so many beautiful things to say about you. That won't be me, Marlene. I have nothing nice to say about you. I'm just saying other people that follow you and that have nice things to say about
It's all good all the time because
you.
I have some people who watch me privately, my own relatives, and they tell me stuff offline, and they're like, "Oh, don't do that," and but they don't understand. It's a different thing to do social media than to do things in person because I do both now. I do
Mhm.
motivational speaking in person, and it's a completely different thing because when I am speaking in person, you get to see the reactions on people's faces, the head nods, the oh, you see people take out their no, I see that. But when I'm doing this, like I feel I'm just talking to myself. Like I don't know. I was like, did anybody get that? Hello, hello, is this on?
Again, I guess you get the same experience that we did when we first made that appointment with our therapist, right? It was
Mhm,
easy to make that appointment, even though it wasn't. But
mhm.
we thought that was the hardest part. Oh no, 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 no! The hardest part came after we were in front of that person, and you had to bear everything out. And the one thing that people don't understand is that not us but others is that it's not easy to be in front of this camera, Marlene,
Yeah.
and you're very brave because it's not easy. I haven't had nope. I'm like, "No, okay, I'm gonna do it next week. Nope, not this week, next week."
Don't worry,
Because
guys. Don't worry. One day, you're gonna see Miss Nexie in all her glory. Okay,
oh
one day.
God,
But I
they gotta
always
be so
said
disappointed.
no. They're going to love it, and you know what? You're going to inspire other people because it's a lot of people who are just like you. Listen, Miss Nexie, when I first started, if you go back in my first videos, I never was on camera. I would just face my laptop to the wall.
Yeah, I noticed that on a couple of them. I was
Mm.
like, why is okay? I was like, maybe it's a dysfunction. Maybe the camera's not. Maybe she didn't know how to put. Oh, so you did that on
No,
purpose.
that was on purpose because I was not confident enough. I didn't want people to see my face. I didn't want the judgments. I didn't want, I just wanted people to focus on what I was saying. But then, the spirit told me, like, how are you going to motivate people? They need to see you. They need to see the expressions on your face so that they can learn from you. So I was like, okay. Then I see, still, it's levels. That's what I'm saying. YouTube has helped me to mature not only
Hmm.
emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and financially, but it has helped me to embrace myself and to say, I love myself how I am, and I show it because how can I be telling people to be motivated and I'm hiding behind the screen? No. I was like, no, come out there and
Hmm.
tell them. Tell
Okay.
them.
I'm not going to. But yes, no, and you're right. That is it's practice. You're practicing what you're preaching, right?
Yes.
Be
Mhm.
brave, be this, be that, and you're doing so on camera, and that is the way it's supposed to be. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I
Yeah.
won't do it.
Uh-huh.
I know
So
you'll convince me. I know.
it's a, I always say, just like I had wonderful mentors, Miss Sexy. I'm telling you, my mentor, nobody can tell me anything about my mentor. I had the best mentor in the world. God rest her soul. She was the best. And she gave me a kick in the tush one day. I remember when I was still doing those lives with it facing the wall. She says, "Oh, hi, honey, come have a seat next to me." And I was like, "Oh, okay." What she would do is she would be so nice and then she would just give it to me. "Oh, how you doing today?" I was like, I knew something was coming. I was like, "Okay." And he said, "Oh, so I see you did some videos." I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, you gonna turn your camera." Like, I was like,
You
"Whoa,
fell for
whoa,
it every
whoa."
time.
And I would fall for it every time. Like I would fall right into her traps. Like, "Oh, I'm doing okay. Yeah, you doing fine. Uh-huh. When you gonna turn your camera on?" "Oh, wait, whoa, 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 whoa."
I was just answering, I'm okay. What just happened?
But
What just happened?
exactly. So that's the progression. So it's not only from a standpoint of others growing, I grow too. And
Mm-hmm.
soon I hope to be showing you some other things because I don't know if you all have noticed I've been phasing out certain things on my channel because I'm only focusing on the content where you all can see my face, you're going to get the message, and then I'm gone because I'm going to another level when I release my book, when I release start doing some touring, which should be happening soon if everything goes according to the plan that God has for me. Then you guys will be seeing more of that. So I'm getting you guys ready for the next level. I'm When I say live your best life, go out there, try new things. I'm not just saying it to you. I'm scared to death for the next level of my life, but I'm still doing
Mm-hmm.
it anyways. Mhm.
Yeah, you have to. You have to do it anyway. And that's the thing that a lot of times, when you're not, um, when it's not something that you should be doing, you can never get there. You can never do it because it's not for you. But when you're listening to someone and you start practicing, you know what, I'm going to be more social at work. Miss Marlene was saying this and this and that, and I'm going to try that and see what happens, right? I'm going
Mhm.
to speak out more. I'm going to tell them I don't want this hours anymore. I remember her saying something like that and see how so all those things, even though we're not here on camera motivating, we take some of those things, and a lot of
Mhm.
people do.
I hope so. I hope so because I'm taking my own advice, and I usually don't say things and tell what I have going on, but I'm working on something behind the scenes so that this my YouTube, my writing, being an author, and some other things in my life is going to be my life completely, that I'm trying to step away from the 9 to 5. Don't get me
Yes.
wrong, y'all. It's nothing wrong with the 9 to 5. I'm not knocking a 9 to 5, but that's not my plan. That's not my plan.
It's not what
So,
you're meant to be doing.
uh-uh.
I've said this to you before.
Yeah,
It's not that. It's hopefully, like you say, it's going on that direction. But this,
yeah,
should be your 100% focus.
yeah. And I'm so much happier when I do this. I feel better. My mental health is better because I don't have anybody be like, you know how like when you have a micromanager, and you don't, and you don't,
Yes.
and you don't, and you don't, and you don't. It's like, then what do I do? Then why am I here if I do nothing?
A- and having to also, having to deal with the, like you said, the 9 to 5, having to deal with the patients and the clients, and it takes
Mhm.
a lot from you, your energy. You're absorbing everybody else's. It drains you.
Very, very,
So
very,
in this
very.
way you can just concentrate on what you're meant to be doing.
Yeah. So I'm working on it. So just like when I tell you all, have a plan, get a mentor, get a coach, and then act on it. I'm not just saying that. Every time I say it, I have my plan. I have a mentor, and I'm acting on it. I'm
As it
living
should
it.
be.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So. Great conversation. And thank you everybody for tapping in. I want to read some of these comments before I get out of here. Miss Eunice says, "Wow, that's so incredibly cruel and rude. That is great that you don't allow that to stop you." And Maria came in. Hi, Maria. Miss Eunice says, "We all have a special calling. It's by answering the call and embracing it and executing it." Yes, embrace your calling, Miss Lynn said. Yeah. So, any final words, Miss Nexie and the chat before I get out of here and give you all back the rest of your day?
No, the only thing is just to thank you again for being you, and thank you for allowing me your platform to allow my thoughts to flow easily, because they do when I'm with you here. And so just allowing me a platform to speak on. Thank you. Thank you. And don't change for anyone.
You know, you
Continue
know,
to be
the
you.
The only thing that's going to change probably when as the channel grows and things is I'm probably going to have somebody planning some things. Maybe my background would change. Maybe I'm not going to be in this office. Maybe you're going to see me doing a live stream from Tokyo, or just the location will be different, but my message is always going to be the same.
Yeah. Or El Salvador. Somehow.
Or El
You
Salvador,
never
or
know.
or Sweden,
Yeah, you
and
never know where we're going
just
to
do
be.
my thing.
You
So
never know
thank
where
you
we're
guys.
going to be streaming from.
You never
Thank you
know
so
where we're
much,
going to be
Miss
streaming.
Marlene.
I appreciate all of you. Thank you guys so much for giving me my flowers. I appreciate every single one of you. Keep your head up, keep fighting, be encouraged. And you know what I say over here? Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life. I
Bye,
will see you
chat.
all.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you all so much for coming. And on Saturday, please don't forget to be here for the premiere. It's going to be starting at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's the Ignite Your Fire Empowerment Conference. You won't want to miss it. Okay, guys. All right, have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much, Miss Nexie. Shout out to all my mods and my channel members.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone. Bye, Miss
everybody.
Marlene.
Bye.